Hello and thank you for coming back again this week. I just want to point out how close my chicken soup recipe is to 100 views. It would be awesome to see it break into that very soon. And now on to the turkey pot pie. For the filling you will need turkey, olive oil, corn, broccoli, sweet potato, oat flour, celery, carrots, and turkey broth. First thing you'll need to do is to cut up celery. After I had it cut up, I put it in a pot with 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Probably, however, it would be better to actually have most of the stuff cut up that needs to be cut up before doing this. Next thing I cut up was carrot. These were just pieces from a previous carrot, but they probably equal very close to a full carrot. After the carrot, I cut up sweet potato. Once you have your celery and oil in a pot and cooking on very low heat, you'll need to thicken it with 2 tablespoons of oat flour. Also remember to stir it occasionally, and you'll also need to add in turkey stock. This frozen stock in a bag I use here is about 1 cup, give or take some. The last of the things I had to cut up for the filling was the broccoli. It was already in chunks from the frozen bags, but I decided I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. After I had the broccoli cut up, I put it and everything else in the pot to cook for a little while. With corn, I only use half a cup because it's neither the best nor the worst thing to give to your dog. You should never feed your dog the cob because it can cause intestinal blockages, which will require surgery. The turkey measures out to about 1 cup plus. After the vegetables were added in and cooked a little bit, I added in the turkey. After I stirred it and cooked it a bit more, the filling was done and it was time to move on to the crust. To make the crust, you will need oil, oat flour, and water. I began the crust by adding in 1 cup of oat flour, followed by 1/8 of a cup of oil. Then I process it, and over time I add water. Be careful with the water not to add too much in, because if you do, you'll need to add in more flour. For me, at 9 tablespoons of water, the dough began to form a ball, and therefore I knew it was done. Now that the dough is done, it is time to roll it out. I use coconut flour to keep the dough from sticking to the cutting board because I'm out of oat flour. Also, this adjustable rolling pin I'm using to roll it out with is extremely nice, and I highly recommend that you buy it or one like it. I made a review of this that just appeared in the cards. This is an 8x-inch dish I'm using to bake it in, and always remember to spray it before putting anything inside. Once you have your dish sprayed, it'll be time to add in the filling. Once I had the filling in, I wasn't entirely for certain how to get the crust on top, but I then remembered about rolling crust on top of a rolling pin and then rolling them right on top of the dish, which worked for me very well. Once I had the excess dough trimmed off, it was time to put it into the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. After it comes out of the oven, here it is plated. Mother says with salt it would also be just fine for people to eat. Here it is for Lucy, and she's yet to turn it down. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing. It's so awesome to finally see 20 subscribers. If you liked the video, please share it with your friends, and also, if you have any suggestions as to what I should make in the future, please leave them in the comments. Have a good day, and goodbye.